This is the final build for my line tracker bot. I basically have the same tail end of my maze bot with good modifications to the front of the bot. So a major modification is going to be the single front wheel. We used to have the two wheels up front. Now we have the single wheel that has these additional small spinny wheels on the front, I guess you could say. It just makes the front of the bot a lot easier to change direction, and since we have to change direction so swiftly on that course, it's more appropriate to have a wheel that can account for those swift turns. If we lift it up like this, you can see where I have the 3 line tracker sensors mounted. I have the middle one very in line with this wheel, the center of the wheel, and then the right one's just a little off to the right, of course. Left is a little off to the left. Now when designing this, I didn't have to make these rods here so long. I needed it to stand off a little bit, but it didn't have to be that much. I just thought once they were on there already, it looked pretty cool and unique, so I kept them on there. But I had to design a new part of the frame to account for this middle wheel since I didn't have a section before. So I extended the frame, and then I got these standoffs on there and just created this nice little bottom section for that wheel. And I had to do the same for the sensors, so I have these 3 standoffs in here so that that optical right there on the sensor could get as close to the ground as possible. So if I hold it like this, you can see how close that optical is to the ground. So I got a really good signal once I lowered it more. That was the major problem I ran into. These standoff rods here, they weren't that long before, and I probably had a good inch or more between the actual optical and the ground there. So once I lowered it more, I got a much better signal. Before, the numbers were coming out a little choppy, and I wouldn't be able to change direction as smoothly as I thought. I would go off course and such, but you know, now I'm able to follow that line a lot easier, and it's gone a lot smoother. So we have those 3 line trackers plugged into the analog ports, A0, A1, and A2. I still have the motor controllers on pins 31 and 32. The wiring for the line trackers is coming up from the back, and I got them all joined together with Scotch tape, but they just go in there nicely. The battery's still on the back there. Battery's still mounted there. And yep, no gearing on this one either. Wasn't necessary. These motor controllers are supposed to nicely fit in the side here. Did my best with that. But yeah. This is challenge 1 of the line tracker. My course doesn't exactly look like the one from the rubric, but I did my best to incorporate a lot of curves and such. So it is 8x4. These are square feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have the 4 across. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey. So here we go. I'm just gonna start out on this hash mark. The bot does display the values of the sensors, both left, right, and middle. And that is one full rotation. Just to give a quick overview of the code here, our includes, defines, and liquid crystal settings are all the same as the previous project. The variables we used are going to be the servo motors, both left and right, as well as our three sensors, left, middle, and right. Left is on pin 0, middle's on pin 1, and the right is on pin 2. Those are all analog. I have another variable here called LC, line counter, aka the hash mark counter, which didn't really work out, and I'll explain why later. The void setup's all the same as the previous project, no need to get into it. Left and right motor is still on the same pins, 31 and 32. Moving into the void loop here, we have analog reads on left, middle, and right sensors, and those are relabeled as the left val, mid val, and right val, which we use for our direction purposes. As far as displaying the values on the LCD, we just have left, mid, and right displayed on the LCD appropriately, and then we have analog reads displaying those values for each sensor right next to where each sensor is labeled on the LCD. Whoops. Now for the direction, we have a chain of if statements here, and I wanted to point out I used the speed 110 for the motors just because anything I tried to do above 110, my bot would just find its way off the course. It wasn't able to manage. I tried 120 and it managed to go a while, but then it would hit a snag in the course somewhere and it would just find its way far away from the line. So I found 110 to be appropriate for the purposes of tracking the line most efficiently. For directions, we have turn left, turn right, and go forward. When the left value is less than 900 and the right value is more than 900, we know we need to turn left more. Then else if, when the right value is less than 900 and the left value is more than 900, we have turn right. And then most importantly, the go forward. We have an else if the middle value is more than 900, then go forward. Because if the right or left sensors are more than 900, then we know we're off course a little bit, because the middle value, aka the middle sensor, is right behind that middle wheel on my bot. So we need that middle sensor to be right on top of the line, and whenever it's over 900, we know it's like pretty much right on top of the line. So to get that above 900, we know we need to turn left or turn right a little bit with these other if statements. Then down here is where it got a little choppy with the LC. When trying to complete objective number 2, I declared LC up there above the setup, and I put this entire if chain inside of this while loop for while LC is less than 3, then this loop will keep running. But if LC equals 3, then the left and right motor will stop and we will display line tracker stopped. I tried to accomplish this by using this if statement when each sensor was above the value of 900, then we would know it's a hash mark because they would all have values of above 900. And I used this right here, LC plus 1, and then a for statement that said LC equals 1, but if LC is less than or greater than 3, then LC equals LC plus 1. It made sense to me that it would keep counting, because I saw this as a counter, but I guess I must have messed something up somewhere. I don't have any logic errors, but it's not counting the way I need it to, so LC will never equal 3. But yeah, that's basically it.